Hey everyone, welcome to MovieFilms with Bill and Steve. I'm Bill. I'm coming to you live from San Diego Comic-Con, live to tape to record. Conan does it. Jay Leno did it. He probably still does it if he had his way. So I'm here in a nice shaded area by some volunteer staff looking to work 3 hours, get a day badge, even though nothing will be around and won't be able to do anything by then. I'm sitting here with Garrett Hunter.
Hello. Hi, Bill.
From Mega 64. Hey, Garrett, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm pretty good. I'm happy to be here. This is a nice little shady spot you picked.
Yeah, we got some flowers, got some greenage around.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty good.
Is this an alcove?
A little bit.
Is that what you would describe it as?
Yeah, an alcove. Yeah, it's like you got these arches going up to these glass windows.
It's a secret spot. You shouldn't let anyone who might come to Comic-Con in the future know about this because it would be taken.
Never. I mean, it's like with Hall H and Twilight. As soon as everyone started camping out, everyone started camping out.
Yeah, exactly.
They knew the secrets. Now, I'm going to put this out there, and our 120 some odd fans on Facebook, because we're such a popular podcast,
Sounds good.
are going to go know the secrets, and they're going to come to Comic-Con, and they're going to
have
steal
120 more people in Hall H.
Jesus Christ. I don't know how they're going to fit it.
They're not.
Now, without the expansion, the mayor in San Diego needs to get on that. He wants to get that expansion, the 120 people in there. I don't know how it's going to go.
Come on, Jerry Brown, get your shit together.
Get this shit together. So Garrett's here today, gracing us with his presence to do a little one-on-one, little chatterooski. Garrett.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
I guess my first question I always want to know is, like, when people talk about Mega 64, a lot of stuff, like even the variety announcement had always Sean, Garrett. No, sorry, I messed up here. Sean, Derek, and Rocco and stuff. So it's always like the Trinity, and obviously you came in a bit later after that stuff. Do you ever, I guess that like Jim Norton or that like on Opie Anthony, like that little like secondary guy. Do you feel okay ever being in that position, or
am I the Artie Lang who comes in and is like that fourth chair? Maybe.
Yeah.
You're going O&A. I'm a Stern.
No, I was trying to go that route too.
Oh,
yeah,
I hear you,
that's similar position.
Yeah, tit for tat, tomato.
Absolutely.
No, it's interesting. Like I met those guys after they started Mega 64 and had been doing it a while. I mean, they met in high school doing drama stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was just a friend of a friend who did like makeup effects, and like they had seen a couple zombie makeup jobs that I had worked on, and then wanted me to do Cold Fear video. I think was the first thing I ever worked on for them, like way back in I think like 06?
Yeah, 06, 07.
Something
it has to be like that around there, yeah.
And then to my surprise, like we got along really great, and they asked me to come in on the podcast. So it kind of happened slowly over time. It was like got to work on a video, just met these guys, just found out they were doing videos, then got to get invited over to the podcast. I just kind of made friends with them naturally, and through that course they started having me featured on their stuff and like being a regular thing on the podcast, sitting on the set. And then I think the community kind of dictated the status of maybe, a fourth member, if there is a fourth member. I mean, in my opinion, Rocco, Derek, and Sean are Mega 64.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that are full-time making videos for the website. I come and help out after work, but I have a day job still.
Yeah.
And, the other peripheral cast that's joined in and just been around helping out, and eventually, you help around, you show up to hang out with your friends enough, they'll stick you and stuff. So, Eric, Brian, Kevin, everyone's kind of been absorbed. But I guess I was the first one to be absorbed. And the long way around to get to the answer, I guess, is just I think the fans kind of dictated it with fan art and stuff. I started seeing me showing up in, fan art. People would come by, bring us at Comic-Con booth, stuff like this, stuff on the forums, stuff online. Yeah,
that sounds about right. Yeah, I think the fans dictate that for sure. I think there's always that trinity, obviously, of Rocco, Derek, and Sean. But I think over the years now, especially, your panel is a good panel last night was a good example of that, how the table up there is you, Eric, then Rocco, Derek, and Sean. Like, it's always this kind of growing, evolving group where you have your figureheads, but I think now it's, especially over the years, especially after several years of everyone being together.
Getting familiar with everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that kind of happened naturally, too, whereas we just started being able to bring more guys with us to these cons to help out with the panel. I mean, I was never on the panel in the beginning just because I had to film.
Yeah.
There wasn't another cameraman aside from me. And then once we started bringing like Eric and Kevin and Brian to stuff too, we had a couple more cameramen. You know, our buddy Frank would help out. And then that kind of freed up my position to go up on stage with them, and then thus Eric and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, you hit it on it shortly. When you did makeup effects before you got with Mega 64, were you doing like indie films or just smaller like stage stuff? Or
I would just do stuff on myself for Halloween. In fact, the stuff that they had kind of seen and been interested in, maybe I could do something for that Cold Fear video, was just 2 years of Halloween that I had done on myself. I just did zombie makeup and went to a party and had a bunch of photos that I had taken. Digital cameras were all the rage in 2004.
They certainly fucking were.
Yeah, and some buddy of mine showed them the photos, and that's kind of how it happened. But not really for anyone else or for any other indie films. That stuff came later, like the little bit of indie films I've helped out with and a little bit of just kind of like friends projects or student films were kind of after I started Mega 64. I think people kind of realized I could do that stuff from what they saw in Mega 64 videos and then asked me to help out from there.
Gotcha. So
Mega 64 is definitely like the start of doing something for video.
So that was like your foot in the door to get into kind of the business and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll jump around a little bit. So with that, do you hope to get like a more job in the industry of special effects, or are you fine just working your day job helping Mega 64, maybe eventually becoming maybe full time for Mega 64?
This is something that's changed for me over the years. Like, there's definitely been aspirations to where I've wanted to find a way to do this for a living and actually be able to support myself for a living. But already having a career and having a day job, you know, the company that I've been with it's going on like 8-9 years now.
Oh, good.
And I definitely, like, I've felt that way before. At this point, like where I'm at right now, I love the fact that it's still airplane. Hold on. Can we pick that up?
Buzz.
Do we get that?
I think we got
Some
that.
kind of Batcopter, I see.
Little
hovering.
Batcopter. We're going to record it, be like, and blow out like John Travolta capturing sounds.
Is the Clock King and Slargo hanging off the side of the copter there? Oh, wow. You guys should have come to Comic-Con next year.
You should.
You're really missing out.
Ben Affleck's going to get out there and tell
Is
him
that
what's
him
what.
on the edge of that wing?
I think it was.
That was Affleck.
He grappling hooked right up there. He's taking care of business.
Update. As long as we don't have any jorkers.
No jorkers.
I'm not in a joking mood. Well, before that loud thing, I was explaining something. What was it?
You're talking about the security of having a day job that you've been with for a long time, and
yeah, I mean, who knows what could happen in the future? But
totally.
As it is now, it's like, for me, I love the fact that I have my day job and my career in electronics. I don't want to give it up because I really actually get a lot out of that. I mean, it's hard to find a job where you like coming in and doing 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a regular kind of 9-to-5 job. Most of them suck.
Yeah.
But I got lucky, and I really like what I do. So the Mega 64 stuff and the makeup stuff and everything has always been a fun hobby for me. And it's never really felt like work. Like, there's definitely been cramming where it's like, got to get some shit done for a deadline, and then it feels like, okay, I'm really putting work in on this. But then it's over that weekend, and you know, I go back to a couple months later, that'll happen again. But
Absolutely.
It always has stayed a hobby for me, and I think that's always what kept it fun for me and has kept me wanting to do it and wanting to come up with other things to be creative, come up with other things like the Poorly Played stream that I do.
Absolutely.
It's just like evolving from where I met these guys and we started doing YouTube videos and I made my own YouTube videos to now I'm doing the game stream. And I've always wanted to keep it as a hobby and never really push too hard to make that like, I've got to make money with this. Because in all honesty, it's like web content. It's hard to make money on that stuff. And if you start really trying, I think you can hurt your audience.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I know things have changed a lot since in the past 11, 12 years now from X64. Like back then, it was just download from your site and things. And now, I mean, hell, you got kids on Vine making like 6 figures a year, just doing crazy shit. And
I mean,
there's
there's those times where I read PewDiePie made 14 million in 2014 by streaming video games, and I'm like, God damn it! Like, I stream fucking video games the PPS started out as a experiment, just to see, like, you know, we do YouTube videos, but we do it in the gaming community. this whole Twitch revolution started, and everyone's doing game streaming. So naturally, we were kind of like, well, maybe we should be doing this too. People are asking for it.
Absolutely.
So I started doing the PBS just as this experiment. Well, let's see if people will watch, and now people are watching, and it's going. But yeah, I read that PewDiePie made $14 million, and I'm like, I spent $300 on equipment. What the fuck is wrong with me?
You're in the red.
But that's where it always comes back to, like, if I could keep my mindset to where, like,
Got
this
some
is
crazy
my
doors.
hobby. We've got some passive aggressive door slamming going on.
Mommy and Daddy are
I don't
angry.
know what. I'm getting some glares and some looks by some Doctor Who cosplayers. Is that what they were doing?
I don't know.
I think they're mad about the TARDIS being broken. That's why it's shaped like a police box.
Maybe this
Bill.
convention center's a TARDIS. I don't know.
I didn't know if you knew that. It's shaped like a police box.
Really?
Yeah.
Broken chameleon circuit. It's a Type 40, but you know.
See, Bill now, he's got some knowledge on the subject. I shouldn't be preaching to the choir here.
I get the bit. I know it works.
But yeah, man. It's the PewDiePie articles are a little disheartening. But then you realize, like, God, I'm not making content for 11-year-old kids that are coming home from school.
Yeah.
I might try in the future if
I'm sure you get some of them.
There's 14 million in it for me. Maybe I just need to switch my demographic.
I'm sure there are fans of Macy4 who are not born yet when they started.
Maybe. Get them while they're young.
I see that sometimes on the forums when someone talks about, I'm only 15. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I was 15 when I got Macy4.
Fuck it. You've convinced me. PPS from now on will be only Minecraft, and we'll do it 24 hours a day.
Five Nights at Freddy's and Hearthstone. Make sure you have your cam up. Show off your man chest.
Yeah. Well, no nipples. Twitch has a policy. No more nipples.
So put black tape on them.
Yeah, just X them out.
X them out. That's for sure. You can show people getting stabbed in the face and murdered, but Lord forbid you have some cleavage. I guess you mentioned the poorly played stream.
Several times.
I know. Yeah,
Wednesdays at 7. Plug.
Yeah, plug it away. It's great.
Thank you.
Now, I know for me, I noticed over maybe the last couple years, it seems like you're on the podcast and things, and you're always like, hey, it's Garrett. He's there. But I feel like, I don't know, I was curious, do you think that having the poorly played stream has helped you maybe be more open comedy-wise and stuff? Because on the podcast now, you are like always on top of it, slaying zingers out all the time and things like that.
I feel like I talk too much on the podcast sometimes.
I think it works really well.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm always very aware of, it's like, I don't want to, because it's hard when you get 4 or 5
You don't want to
people.
power talk over people.
Yeah, and someone tells a joke and everyone's ready with the next tag to it.
Yes.
So it's like, you'll start, but you'll get cut off. You'll start again, you'll get cut off. You'll start again, you'll get cut off. So I'm always like, fuck. If that happens too many times, I tend to be like, just shut up.
Just shut up.
Your thing isn't that funny.
Well, I want to say my favorite one I think you ever did was, I think Sean was talking about Sawyer. No, Lennon. Which one's the newest kid?
He's got so many kids.
Shit, Jesus Christ.
I think there's Tanner, Sawyer. We've got?
I think it was Sawyer. I think she was maybe.
I thought it was Huck Finn. Which one was it?
I don't know. I can go off some other. I can go some gyms or something like that.
We
could do that.
We can't though.
We can't do that. So I think it was Sawyer, and he's mentioned video gaming. And my favorite quip you had was she a sexy gamer girl? And I laughed so hard, and it sticks with me all the time because it's like Sean, I think, immediately went to this weird, awkward place because
his daughter's like 2.
Exactly.
See, I don't know. You know what? Sometimes the way the podcast works, and a lot of the PPS too, it's like such stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just trying to make each other giggle or make each other, mad, basically. Like, we'll either be teasing each other or trying to make each other laugh.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, sometimes shit comes out that's just
it works.
usually inappropriate.
It works,
yeah.
or you get Tumblr upset and you have to remove the episode forever.
Yeah. I'm not on there.
There's a good time.
As you can see, I've got a sticker here. Do you want to read that sticker on my badge?
I don't use .tumblr.com.
Remember these Tumblr banners or stickers to put on the bottom of your badge?
Where'd you get that at?
Someone left them at the booth.
That's hilarious. I saw Brian with one. It was hilarious. I think we can move now on. We got some formalities about some stuff out of the way.
Yeah, people have got to know who I am, what I'm all about.
Absolutely.
They've been introduced to the whole persona.
I think so. Now, we can move on to some movie film specific information.
Mm-hmm.
When we get into that, I wanted to know, what was your earliest movie memory? Like, maybe first movie you ever seen, or maybe earliest thing you can remember about a movie.
Strongest, most impressionable memory is very vivid for me. My mom, growing up, played bunco. I don't know if anyone out there's parents played bunco, but it was like all these women would get together, and it would be hosted at a different house, and they'd play some fucking game with dice, I think, are involved in a cup.
Oh, she knows. My wife knows all about that.
You know about Bunko?
Yeah, it's all dice and tokens.
It's all dice and tokens.
Dice and
and you know
tokens.
what? As like a 10-year-old or 11-year-old, it was all dice and tokens to me too. And they write on paper. I don't know. They would eat a lot of chocolate and probably have wine. But it's like a mom game. So mom had Bunko every whatever night, and then one night it was hosted at our house.
Oh boy.
So Dad said, "All right, I'm taking the kids. We're going to the theater to see." And I don't remember going to the theater before this. I must have, but I don't really have any memories of it. But I remember going to the theater to see Batman, Danny Elfman, and why can't they think
Jack
of the director?
Nicholson.
What?
Are you talking about director? Tim Burton. Sorry.
Tim Burton,
The director,
Tim Burton, Danny Elfman, Keaton, Batman, like the original Batman. And I was fucking blown away. I specifically remember sitting in the audience in the theater, and that Elfman score sweeps in, and it's the title sequence that's all kind of like, you don't know what you're looking at, and it's kind of like spinning you. The camera's going around like the Bat logo. It was like the Bat symbol and everything. And then I just remember like being probably pretty young.
Passive aggressive over there.
On that, yeah, another passive-aggressive door slam.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez. I remember being pretty young maybe to go see that movie in theaters, too. But I'll have to look. I don't know what year that came out. I'd have
It was
to do the
89.
math. It was 89?
Yeah.
And I was 80. I was born in 82, so that puts me. Let's do the math here. So what you do, Bill, is you take. Well, there's 10 in the 80s. 10 years.
There is.
So I was born 2 years in, so you're gonna minus 10. Now we're stuck with 8. And the movie was 1 year previous.
Yeah.
So that we take another one, 7. So I was 7 years old.
That's some Common Core shit right there.
Yeah. So 7 years old, sitting in the theater watching that Batman, and I remember I thought Vicky Vale was so sexy. Batman hung upside down when he slept, and I really vividly remember like that being my first like movie theater experience.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool. So mine was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh, good. Well, thank you.
I can repeat that again.
Can I quote that movie?
Go for it.
Lick my plate, you dog dick. You think that was good?
It was great.
All right, cool.
It was great.
Bill Moseley.
Great Bill Moseley.
I hope
Chop Chop.
I didn't blow out.
You know what? If you did, it's for the fans.
Okay.
Did it for the fans. It's for the bit. Yeah, mine's for that. Episode 1, people listen to that. Can go back and listen to that.
Good movie.
For some reason, I've never been really scared since then. But the beginning scene, the movie's a comedy mostly.
Yeah.
That opening scene, though, it's probably the only scary part of the movie. We're on the bridge and these two guys are in their car
On the
and
freeway.
stuff.
Or the bridge.
Yeah. And I don't know why that freaked me out at the time. It's so bad.
There's something with that whole thing because aren't they calling into a radio show?
Yes, and then she's hearing them like get slaughtered and fucked up and shit.
But was there a thing where like she couldn't hang up?
I don't know. It was crazy.
There's such
I think part of it. I think part of it. She thought it was a bit, but I don't know. And so I think as we get into the last segment here, I think it's really you can really tell a lot about a person by their favorite films. At least that's the philosophy me and Steve had. And it's not necessarily like quality or anything. There's always those films that get you. You know, Citizen Kane's a good movie or Vertigo or something. But you might say, like for me, RoboCop's my favorite movie. All the time.
You have an interest in like a genre or
exactly.
a specific kind of niche thing.
Exactly. So I wanted to go down maybe here in what was your top 5 movies of all time or top 5 favorite movies of all time?
Top 5.
Let's start with number 5.
Just gonna See, I don't even know the order. I don't even.
Hey,
know
it can be non-order. Here's his top 5
I'm just gonna put 5 in there, and
Absolutely.
I'm probably gonna leave some out. It's so hard to pick.
You can probably do a quick little bit on each one. If you're...
I'm gonna just say like out of the Star Wars franchise, Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, fantastic one. Fantastic
so Empire, I mean, you got like Clerk says, you got the down ending. Luke finds out Vader's his father. Hand cut off. Han Solo frozen in carbonite taken away by Boba Fett.
Yep.
That's what life is. It's a series of down endings, Phil.
Yeah, you got it right there.
I'm gonna just quote every movie. Since it's a movie podcast, I get to
You can't do for it.
use this useless information.
It's okay.
Okay, that covers Star Wars.
Absolutely. Number 2.
Comedy, raised on Ghostbusters. Had a VHS copy off of like, when Ghostbusters would air on like HBO or something. My parents recorded it illegally.
Nice.
And I grew up watching this bootleg VHS with like, I remember the Breakfast Club was on it before, and then it was Ghostbusters and I think a Star Trek movie that I
Gotcha.
never watched. But I would watch Ghostbusters religiously, and then when I got a little older, I discovered the Breakfast Club. But Yeah, Ghostbusters is just by far my favorite comedy. I mean, it as a kid, it satisfied all the monster movie cravings I ever had.
Absolutely.
And I didn't even get half of the humor. As an adult now watching it, it's like they're swigging like booze like outside the library. They're getting evicted because they're not producing any results. Like all of that plot was like over my head. I just thought it was a cool ghost movie, you know?
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
cartoon and the toys fucking just pulled me in as a little kid.
Yeah, absolutely. The real Ghostbusters.
So yeah, Ghostbusters up there. I'm a big horror fan. I know you guys are big horror fans. So
Yeah.
off the top of my head, dude, I'm just thinking. It's been in the news a lot lately. Evil Dead. I'm gonna say Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, that's mine as
my
well.
favorite of that series.
And I found Army. No, you're fine. I found Army of Darkness in a Blockbuster video at some point in my youth, and then I didn't find out that there was a there were other movies.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness.
I think that's totally, like, we talked about that, because I know for me and, like, everyone I know and Steve, like, we watched on Sci-Fi. Like, it was just on Sci-Fi all the time. And so everyone sees this movie and, like, okay, and then you go to the video store, like you're saying, and you're just like, what's all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have rented it, like, 2 or 3 times in middle school, loved it, and then found out, like, oh, there's other ones? There's prequels to this? And then I got Evil Dead 2, and I really had a blast. That was where I think, like, the love of that practical makeup effects kind of came from. Like, watching the first Evil Dead and seeing oatmeal pumped out of the sleeves of the Deadites at the end, and, like, the way that they put real bugs and roaches and shit into the makeup effects that were crawling out there. I've done that in, like, directly ripped that off for version 3 stuff.
Hey, if it works, go for it.
I think that one is definitely up there. So that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
God, 2 more. Okay. So if there's one film, well, I'll save that for last. Okay. Pick a fourth one.
Okay, fourth one.
Damn. This is where it's hard.
This is why I gave you preliminary question. I asked you this
I
ahead
know,
of
and
time.
I forgot. I did my. I studied it, and this is the ones I thought of. But
It's fine. It's fine. Take your time. Take a second.
dude, 4th movie. Well, I've covered horror, covered comedy. I think I should go. The last one's animation, so we're there.
Okay.
And Star Wars got that sci-fi stuff out of the way.
So we got to go a definitive action film for you.
You know what? Action is good. Damn. I would say, a lot of people say Terminator 2 Judgment Day was really formative, and I would definitely say that as well, but a tick above it. Honorable mention, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. A tick above it, and it fulfills that monster movie craze I have, but Aliens.
Aliens, absolutely.
I love Alien, and I almost love Alien more, but if I had to pick 5, Aliens by John... JC.
James Cameron.
Our buddy, James Cameron. JC, shout out.
JC, shout out.
His sequel to Alien with the fucking muscly Marines just blowing up aliens. Like, I had never seen a monster movie and an action movie mixed in together like that. And that was, again, another, thank God my parents were deviants and recorded shit off television, because that was some VHS that I had found, staying home sick from school, and there was a fucking version of Aliens on it. And
Rock and roll.
I probably watched it when I was too young to watch it, and that.
Hey,
that's
I think
number 4.
everyone's the same way.
That's number 4. Vasquez was my favorite. Her joke in that movie. Everyone knows the pull-up joke.
Yeah.
Like, it cracked me up as a kid. Like, every time I watched it, I was rolling on the floor laughing at how funny.
It's such a good
was.
one. Yeah, I know for us, Bill Paxton makes
Yes.
that movie totally for us. Beginning of the film, he's like, I'm the ultimate badass, and then shit starts going
Game
wrong,
over.
and then it's like instant like pussification. He's done.
He can't handle the big bad bugs, man.
But he goes out like a badass, just
He
shooting
does.
into him. You want some? You want some? Take some.
He redeems himself at the end.
Absolutely, he is the ultimate
Good
badass.
third act film.
Absolutely.
Okay, number 1 spot.
Boom.
You didn't see this coming. The end of Evangelion is probably if you had to ask me what's your one favorite film, or film, as I like to call them, Hideaki Anno's End of Evangelion. It's the final film from the original Eva series. And they've made some new movies in the recent...
Yeah.
There's this rebuild of Eva thing still going on. But End of Eva is, like, by far some of the most impressive animation, like some of the fight scenes in the end that are rotoscoped, and some of the movement in those fight scenes are just so beautiful, along with, I think, the score. The music in that movie adds so much to it that it makes me cry every time I watch it.
That's intense.
But that's up there. That's my 5.
Cool. Well, yeah, and Evangelion, you're obviously a big fan. You have your art of it all over you and everything.
I'm all tattooed up with Eva artwork and everything.
So
but yeah, that
one
one.
a big deal for you.
I can't. I mean, I could talk about it endlessly.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for that one day where there was a podcast of just you and Rocco and just talking Eva.
Did we do an Eva commentary? I think we did.
You
a
did.
commentary
You
track
did.
for End of Eva.
Yeah. I never was too into Eva. So.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what?
It's not for everybody.
That's why everyone's got their top 5.
That's absolutely right.
What I finish on? Empire, Evil Dead 2, Aliens,
Ghostbusters, End of Eva.
And End of Eva.
That's
I
a
think
good
that's
list.
pretty good.
Good
if
list.
I had to go to a faraway, deserted island with a Blu-ray player, I think I could live with those 5.
That sounds great. That sounds like a great way to wrap this up.
Shit.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead, go for it.
I forgot I didn't bring any porno to the island.
No porno. Hey, you know Vasquez or Ripley's.
Ripley's got.
I mean, she's not in the underwear like she's an alien.
Yeah, the first movie there's a.
And you can.
shot.
I guess you can just repeat the scene where Ray is getting his pants pulled down by the
see,
ghost.
Here's the thing. I don't like the Ray stuff. The Ray's on a whole nother level for me.
Absolutely. So as we wrap it up here, as always, guys, you can find us at MovieFilms with Bill and Steve. .tumblr.com where all the episodes are listed. You can find us on Facebook, Movie Films with Bill and Steve. We're also on iTunes. You can always look that up. We have the Twitter that I sometimes will get to at MovieFilmsBS. That stands for Bill and Steve or bullshit, whichever you choose to approve.
Ooh.
And you can also,
Cheeky.
if you had any questions about San Diego and you want some sick tips, you can email us at moviefilmswithbillandsteve@gmail.com. Garrett, do you have any plugs?
Yeah, I got some plugs. Hey, just a question though about the tips.
Mm-hmm.
Is it tips and tricks? Or just tips?
Hey, tricks cost you money.
Okay, all right. Well, so a tip might be like what to bring to a convention to be prepared, but a trick would be what this alcove that we're hiding in right now.
Yeah.
This primo location.
Absolutely.
They got to pay for that info.
They got to pay for that information. Come 2020, when our episodes cost $5.99, that's a throwback. That's a throwback joke
the
for people.
subscription plan comes in.
Yeah. Episodes are free now. 2020
Okay.
though, they're gonna be $5.99. We're just reminding everybody.
So get in on the ground floor, guys. You should
Absolutely,
be listening. Well,
absolutely.
hopefully they are listening right now.
They should be
They're
listening.
hearing
Your
us.
name's on this. They're gonna be listening.
Jeez. Let's keep our fingers crossed. You can find me at Twitter. It's
Twitter.
at Garrett Hunter. GarrettHunter. And that's the best place to talk to me. I'm on Twitter all the time. I like to post photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to post photos from the conventions. I like to interact, talk to the fans, let you guys know when the PPS is coming on, let you know what's up with the podcast. I like to retweet Royce. He's such a good boy. He does all the highlights for us.
Royce is a good boy.
Mega 64 podcast. Yeah.
That's all. That's his life apparently.
Yeah.
It's just a Mega 64 podcast.
Dude, he's just got RAID drives full of footage, and he's just making clips every night.
Thank good for him. That good boy.
I think, yeah, that's the best place to get me, Twitter, and then check out mega64.com. That's where the hub of it all comes from.
Absolutely. And then Poorly Played streams on Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wednesdays at 7 on Twitch.
7 Pacific time.
7 Pacific, and it's twitch.mega64podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Well, Garrett, I want to thank you very much for taking your time out of your busy booth monitoring schedule here at San Diego
thank
Comic-Con.
you. Yeah, I left it in Kevin and Brian's hands.
I'm sure it's on fire right now.
It's going to be burned to the ground.
They're going to be
ashes.
playing Citizen Kane backwards, upside down. I don't know how they're going to do that.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, I guess.
If you play Citizen Kane backwards and upside down,
yeah, you'll see.
Spontaneously
you'll
combust.
see Orson Welles will be like,
whoa,
frozen peas.
Whoa. Is he a
tasty,
ghost?
tasty country green penis?
Do you think Frozen Wells? I mean, he's probably not frozen.
Nope. He's probably just dead.
probably
Hollywood didn't give a shit about him by the time he's dead. He's gone.
Some of them, they stick their head on a can of tuna and just leave them in a deep freeze to try to bring the brain back to life at a later time, right?
Well, hopefully that's the case.
But Orson's just
he's just like Tupac.
afterlife.
He's alive. He ain't fooling me.
Oh, you think he's doing the deserted island, the Vincent Price thing?
That's what he's doing.
Okay.
He ain't fooling me.
You got to get away. Sometimes, you get too big. Orson, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking size. I'm talking fame here. You get too big, you want to get away from the limelight.
Like Elvis.
Yeah.
And Bo Hotep.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know all about it.
Absolutely.
Shout out.
So thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you again, Garrett.
Thank you.
And
We're gonna
until
shake.
next, we're going to shake. We're going to shake. Can you hear that? Can you hear that shake?
Can you hear that
Hear
shake?
the motion? Motion in the ocean, baby. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Thanks, guys. Take care.